Hi there.
Hi, Deborah. How are you?
I'm good, Melanie. I'm excited to talk today about the Inner Arts Collective and, you know, what the Inner Arts Collective is and the space that we've had on the Danforth and um, you know, we're because of the COVID, we're having to deal with potential closure of our building and we are trying to save it. And so we wanted to have a discussion and let people know more about the IAC. So I wanted to, thought it would be really important to have a conversation uh, with you, Melanie, and for us just to have a conversation because I'm a member. And Melanie Ollenberg Bessa is the founder and co-creator of the Inner Arts Collective. And maybe, Melanie, you could say a little bit about the IAC and like the vision of the IAC, because you're really the brain child. You really birthed this beautiful
Mm.
concept of the IAC that is a beautiful community. So I'd love to hear, to have people understand more what it's about.
Thanks, Deborah. Um, yeah, the IAC, it became what it is today, kind of in a way on its own volition. It ended up having a bit of its own life force. Um, I'm a practitioner as well. I practice Reiki and palmistry, and when I became a mom, I needed to keep up with my practice just to keep sane and to keep me and keep my like spiritual connection strong and keep active. But I didn't want something full time. I didn't want it to be about business. Actually, I wanted it to be about my work. And in order to make that possible financially, I needed to find a space that I could share. So I rented a small room actually at the Village Healing Center in on Roncesvalles, and shared the space with a few other people. And we shared a calendar, and you could rent as you go. And I made plans that were based on hours used in the month. And it was a hit. Like, a lot of people really wanted that flexibility. And then I started to hear more about co-working as an option, as a model for doing business, for space use, and for collaboration and community as well. And decided to it was time to leave that space and get something larger that was a little bit more ours, and something that we could make really beautiful, because healing is a beautiful, sacred process, and clients and practitioners of all kinds deserve to be held in beauty while they heal. And we found a space quite quickly, actually, but it was over at College Inn Young, and grew to a membership of around 30 people. And within that membership, the core of our like a sense of community really started to build and develop. We would have like potlucks, and we would have like community gatherings and membership meetings, and it was really beautiful. But there was a big renovation project that started next door, and we had to start thinking about where we would move next to, if we were going to fold or if we were going to like find something new. And I remember that feeling, because I felt like it was really devastating. Here we were in our first year of business, and we were just faced with all of this noise outside and all of this challenge after we'd made this space so beautiful. And we were forced to rethink where we were and how we used space. And I remember really being grateful that we were a small team that could make decisions quickly. We weren't like bogged down by a lot of bureaucratic process, and but we did need to be consultative. So we surveyed all of our members to ask them to dream about their dream place. Like, what would their ideal location be? And as the survey results started to come in, and we started to see the themes, a real estate person contacted us and we went to take a look at the space, and it was like 3-4 times the cost of our current space, and we were barely scraping by with rent. Like, we're like, this isn't even possible. There's no way. But every time we meditated on it and prayed on it, it was like the door was shining like this golden light, like, just open me, ask, and just try, open me. And when we're looking at the space, and I'm looking at these survey results, and it was like I was going down a checklist: check, 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 check. And it was a bit surreal, actually. It felt like too good to be true. It wasn't. It didn't feel like I was making a very smart financial choice. I think I had like $50 in my bank account, and it just seemed really out of reach. But the meditations and the guidance that we received was just to ask. And within a week, we had the money covered for first and last month's rent, and the landlord offered us the first 2 months for free, and a tiered increase over 4 years, so that we could slowly get to that price that they were originally asking for. And we're like, wow, like, we can do this. And it still sends shivers down my spine that original challenge that we faced at that other location was actually what gave birth to the space that we have today. And we moved in, and members showed up, and we cleansed the space. You were there.
Yeah, that's how I joined. That's how I remember, because it was 5 years ago. Was that 5 or 6 years ago?
It was 5.
So 5 years ago, and I remember it was on December 12th, and I have a whole thing about 12/12. I have one of my pieces on my CD is 12/12/12, but it was like a ceremony, and you basically said, like, only people who are going to be members can do the ceremony, and I was like, well, I guess I'm doing the ceremony, so I guess I'm going to be a member. That's how it happened. I so wanted to do the ceremony. I was so caught in the ceremony, and then I've been in it ever since. I have been in deep with you guys.
Oh, and it's been like an evolution over time, the IAC. There's so many people that told me that I was foolish for doing this at the beginning. A lot of family members, anybody that's an entrepreneur or business person would know that, it's like, why don't you just get a job? But it was about something more. It was about, there wasn't a space for community practitioners, like a practitioner community that was diverse. Like, a lot of the wellness centers and stuff that you see, they're wellness centers. They're not hubs for practitioners as well as clients. And they're very specific with the types of people that they allow to be practitioners. We have astrologers and shamans and regulated professions like massage therapy. You're a sound healer. Like, there's lots of different modalities that they have a really hard time finding space to practice and do their offerings in the city. So it was really beautiful to just have a large amount of space so we could spread out our practices, and we could, over the last few years, we've learned so much about how to, share sound and share space and that kind of thing. It's been incredible. But I think it's important to come back a little bit to what makes the IAC model different from a standard business model. Like, I've had CRA call me and say, like, why aren't you making profit? Like, it looks fishy to them. And I'm like, because that's not our model. Like, our model isn't about growing this exorbitant amount of profit every year. Every time we make money, we feed it back into the space to make the space more beautiful for healing. And it's worked so far. It's about reciprocity. It's about people showing up to clean the floors and to vacuum the space and, like, be their own admin for their clients so that we can keep the costs down for each of the practitioners. It really is a membership economy. It's what we have today is because of the members that have made it so. And that sense of agency and citizenship and belonging I feel are the things that are being threatened right now by the general response to COVID. And there's a lot of fear and division. And this is a time where we really need to come together and unify and make sure hubs survive, so that when COVID is done, we are still strong. And it isn't about space use, like it's not just about the building anymore. It's about us having the right to a beautiful place to heal, where the government can make their own choices about what's needed and what kind of funding goes where, and we still stay strong. Not because clients are receiving services. We can't only be held by the people that are in need of help and service. And so far, it's been our members that have been paying their membership fees, and the clients receiving services that help them pay for those membership fees. But right now, services are slow, and people need to be able to heal at their own pace. And we need other people to help us survive. Like, we need other community folks, allies, supporters, family members, people who have ever benefited in the past from the IAC. We need them to go, you know what? Yeah, like this needs to make it. And it needs to be like a community decision, because we can't hold it. We can't hold the cost with COVID numbers. Like it's really been a challenge, and our practitioners are tired. We need support too. Like
For
I've
sure.
like, I know we're trying so hard to hold the line for our clients and to work online. Like, so many of our members are burnt out and like trying really hard to be that support line for their clients in the face of not being able to see them face to face, thinking creatively, responding, and it's really hard. So I really respect you, Deborah, and like the work that you do. I know you know, you're always at all of the meetings and really super supportive. Everything that happens at the IAC, from ceremony to service to decisions made behind the scenes, like you're there. And I really feel like you get it.
Well, it's been a beautiful experience to be part of the IAC. I mean, you've been kind of laying out, sort of the model, and it's worked. So one of the things that I would say of being a member that has been so incredible is the collaborations that have happened. There have been so many collaborations I've done with different members, uh,
Mm,
offerings that have come, that have been developed over time, and just the building of community has been very beautiful. And I mean, so much stuff has come out of it. I mean, also the Rosso's sanctuary. I mean, there's so many,
yeah.
and it's been a place where I could build my, my little solo little business, and it in a way that feels really like, that's what I love this model, because it's like, it's, you talked about the beauty. The space is beautiful. And, I remember, I mean, I've been a yoga teacher for 20 years. And I remember when I used to teach a lot of class. I don't teach classes anymore, I do programs, but I used to teach in all these little crappy places,
I
like,
know.
or renting a space, well, I had some okay spaces, but, sometimes there's just like, I can only get this space because that's what I can afford, and I see that a lot with different healers and
Hmm.
practitioners. And, you know, it's incredible to be able to, like, the feeling of being able to serve the clients in a space of beauty. I think it's just it brings back so much dignity to the person that is coming for the service, but also for the practitioner, and the practitioner knowing their worthiness.
Yeah,
You
it's
know, and
so
I
true.
I think that that's a really beautiful thing that's been created, and very it's a really unusual model, and like you said, it's a new model, it's a new way of doing uh, it, of building community and being able to thrive together. And I know that's one of our mottos, is about thriving together as community and building that community. And we've created something, based on, this desire to save our building, because
Yeah.
because it's so valuable.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you put like that building has served a lot of people. I've
It
seen so many
has.
clients. I've had
Thousands.
so many groups in there
Yeah.
that have loved the space. And I have been able to
Yeah.
go in and do stuff, because I do everything with my voice. So I
Yeah.
can't be, spitting all over the place. So sadly, I haven't been able to do any client work in there since COVID.
Yeah.
So everything for me is online now. But I would love to get back in that space, and I hope we have a space to come back to. But
I
when we
know.
created, the core group of us, came together and have come up with this idea of we've created the Inner Hive,
Yeah. The
uh,
Inner Arts Hive.
Inner
Yeah.
Arts Hive. Thank you. And yeah, why don't you say a bit more about the Inner Arts Hive and why it would be important, way for people to contribute to, building, new economy and like part of that change.
Yeah, sure. So the Inner Arts Hive is it's an online subscription model. So folks can buy into either a monthly or a yearly subscription. And the idea is there's so many layers to it, but on the one hand, it's an opportunity for us as practitioners and healing arts folks to keep connected with our clients and with each other by continuing to offer things in another hub, but the hub is online. So instead of actually having the physical space, we are still connecting online, sharing resources, tools, discussions about our work, our practices, whether it's, a 6-week breathwork series or, your lovely morning yoga nidra practice or
Chanting,
chanting.
sounding with Deborah.
Yeah. And I'm going to be doing some like a palmistry series, and there's lots of, we have 14 core practitioners that are offering like pretty amazing content actually on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis, depending on where they're at and what energetically they can contribute. And ultimately though, it's more than content. Like the subscription, we're really aware that everybody, not just us, are overwhelmed and tired, and we don't want to overwhelm folks with so much content that they feel like they can't possibly keep up with everything that's being offered. So it is also really important for clients to be able to connect with each other, for discussions to happen spontaneously, for resource sharing to happen all across the board, so we can all continue to thrive and build together. And then 100% of the proceeds from this will go towards saving our bricks and mortar location. So if we can find a way to create like an alternative income source for the IAC that isn't just based in space use, we can generate like another wheel to the bicycle to keep us moving. Our members are all still paying their membership fees, but they're just far reduced. It's just not fair to charge them for space that they're not using, but they're all very committed to keeping their membership active and strong. It's just, it only gets us about 25% there in terms of our monthly fees. So I'm really hoping that this online subscription, it gives also people in the community an opportunity to give, because a lot of folks they want to give, they want to contribute, but they don't know how. And so it's kind of like a GoFundMe, but you get a lot for it. Like it's because the spirit of reciprocity is like incredibly important for us. So we've never been into a lot of like, you know, just give us money and you don't get anything in return. Like there's it's a way for us to have a reciprocal relationship that's still based in our values of sustainability and community and collaboration, and it also gives everybody a sense of agency and citizenship and being able to contribute to this bigger goal, to save our space and to also make sure that hubs like this they continue moving forward. Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, I am too. I think it's an incredible opportunity. Not only like, I mean, it's an incredible opportunity to build the community. And then it's also not only building our local community, which, you know, like in Toronto, but I think we have capacity to, you know, to grow beyond our city. And I mean, I know with the How We Heal series, we've been reaching people in other countries all over the world. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I think, I just think the building of community and like the potential is very great to, and I mean, yeah. And the subscription is very, very, I think how much is it a month?
It is,
just to be, so people know.
Yeah, sure. It's hot off the press, so I have to look. It's on our homepage of our website. So I'm just going to our homepage. It's $10.99 or $12.99. No, $10.99 per month, but that's US. So it ends up being about like $14. And then that's for monthly. And then yearly it's $84.99, which ends up being around 114 or so, I think. Yeah, for a year.
Yeah. And so that's like,
so it's
for that,
it's incredible, like the value,
that incredible value, and like the amount of incredible, of all the amazing offerings you're going to receive from that, from being a member. I think the benefits are going to just I mean, I think it's a fantastic, I think it's a fantastic way for us to grow our community and to our building.
Yeah, I really, when I look at, you know, for our listeners, we've created like an online planning document where we're all kind of entering the information about the kinds of offerings that we plan to offer and when, and we're making our timetable for how these are all going to be rolling out. And I can't believe the list of offerings. Like, I'm excited about participating in these things. Like, there's a couple people that are offering addictions assessments and treatments and consultations. And, you know, Laval's offering a peer group, and he can offer it in behavior regulation or depression, anxiety. We're going to do a poll to find out what people would like, but that'll be like a 6 or 8 week peer group to support you through a process. Ecotherapy invitations for connecting with nature, living by the moon, astrology forecasts with Aaron Fogel, Nick Viet, he's an esoteric researcher, and he's going to be offering guided art and visualization practice around symbolism for conscious breath with Michelle Meehan, and grounding practices and creative visualization. And you're doing the sound chanting and it's access to songs, articles. It's incredible. So people are going to have the opportunity to create their own like self-care and wellness regime. They'll have access to all sorts of tools and resources in very well organized topic areas. So, and one of the things that I really like about it is people can they can schedule the notifications that they'd like to receive if it's in specific topic areas or specific, done by specific moderators. You can only get notifications that are relevant to you, that you want to receive. So You can really tailor your plan and do it all from home. And it's like, I'm so excited. I think it's going to be a really nice, I think it's actually going to deepen our community.
That's
Kind of
right.
similar to when we, you know, that feeling of when we were really hitting against the wall with the sounds that were happening at our previous location, and that it all led to us coming into this much better space together. We never really knew what was possible until the challenge really forced us into this place. And in the process of being resilient and nimble and responsive to the needs of community, we actually ended up being really blessed by a massive amount of abundance and beauty and sacred relationship with the land that we're on there, with the space, the physical space, the energy in the walls. Like, everybody that comes in feels the vibe. And
Absolutely.
and I feel like this platform is the same. And I haven't been a big online kind of person. I'm the worst at social media and updating everything, and all the Zoom meetings that are happening. It's like, oh, but I'm actually really excited about this because it's like it has a different depth to it, or a different it has a life that is going to directly feed into our bricks and mortar too. So it doesn't just stay virtual, but it's connecting hearts, regardless of all the boundaries that are being put up all around us. Like, it's like we're finding a creative way to keep weaving and connecting people regardless of whatever. So yeah, we could handle another lockdown. We're still connected. We're still growing and thriving, and like finding our resources and our ability to develop ourselves and face our challenges together instead of like in isolation. You know, so I think it's a really important tool given everything that's going on. So, and I believe you as well in the capacity for this to go like beyond our borders, because COVID is global. Like it's affecting so many people, regardless of what you believe about it. Everybody is being impacted by the response to COVID, and it's how we respond to this crisis that is going to be the telltales of what we're moving into as a society. And we need to be much more conscious with how we respond to our thoughts, our feelings, our actions, where we put our money, what kind of future we're trying to create.
Yeah.
And it's just so important. It's more important than ever.
Well, and I think that this is a symbol of the new. Like, what is it we want to create in this world
Yeah.
we're living in? And I think the idea around the Inner Arts Hive is really, it's like part of building that new
Yeah.
economy, that new what world what do we want to create? And I
Yeah.
think we hope that you join us in creating something new and something that will help all of us thrive. And so
Yeah.
we really invite you to join the Inner Arts Hive and come and play with us, because it's going to be
Yes.
fun in there. So I
Yeah.
hope you join us, and we're going to put links below this video for you to join us.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, thanks for
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate your support. And
Yeah,
don't let COVID bring you down. Like, really get out there, enjoy the trees, connect with your local community, your local businesses. And we really hope to see you on our online platform, the Inner Arts Hive. Yeah. Thank you for your support.
thanks for your support. Have a beautiful day. Bye.
Bye.